Over 330,000 West Virginians are on Medicare. That's about 10,000 people per block. If Medicare is cut, that would affect over 19% of West Virginia's population. Skiers and snowboarders aged 6 to 17 make up Snowshoe's Forever Wild team. Today, competitors start at the top of this mountain, and after a few jumps, twists, and turns, they'll make their way towards the finish line. President Trump has said he will not cut Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security programs for seniors. But a GOP budget resolution approved this month in the House of Representatives would cut Medicaid by $880 million over the next decade. I'm Connor White, and coming up on WVU News, I'll show you how the future of skiing is hitting the slopes here at Snowshoe. Morgantown's First Friday for the Arts gives creatives the opportunity to display their works, but also to sell copies like these to the community. Since 1944, WVU students and Morgantown residents alike have been coming to Jean's for beer, hot dogs, and even haircuts.
With potential cuts to federal programs like Medicaid or Medicare, some West Virginia residents are concerned they will no longer be able to afford their health care.
Reporter Connor White joins us live in the studio to tell us more. Connor?
Thanks, Patrick. Jackie. More than 65 million Americans over the age of 65 rely on Medicare to pay for their medical services. But in West Virginia, more than 75% of nursing homes residents rely on another federal program, Medicaid, to pay their assisted living costs, including nursing homes. While Republicans in the White House and in Congress say that these programs are safe, West Virginians who rely on federal health care are worried they'll be next on the list of federal cuts. Sundale Rehabilitation and Long-Term Care is a 100-bed facility in Morgantown, and 70% of its residents are supported through Medicare. Despite the White House stating cuts will not be made to the program, many residents are concerned that the federal health insurance could be in danger.
It just keeps you awake at night worrying about what you're going to do next when you run out of money.
Donna Tennant, the admission and marketing director at Sundale, says that she is concerned about how these potential cuts could affect the quality of care Sundale offers.
It is really tough, you know, and I worry that it will get tougher as time goes by with all of the cuts that we're anticipating.
Medicare started in 1965 when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Social Security amendments. They aimed to expand coverage to an underinsured senior population. Over 330,000 West Virginians are on Medicare. That's about 10,000 people per block. If Medicare is cut, that would affect over 19% of West Virginia's population. If cuts are made, people in the state who are 65 and older will be affected disproportionately.
It does give you a little anxiety and a little stress, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that till it gets here.
Medicare not only covers senior citizens, but also people with certain medical conditions. President Trump has said he will not cut Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security programs for seniors. But a GOP budget resolution approved this month in the House of Representatives would cut Medicaid by $880 million over the next decade.
4, 3, 2.
An average of 180 inches of snow falls on Snowshoe Mountain yearly. Snowshoe's Forever Wild ski and snowboard team is taking advantage of all that powder.
I love skiing here. It's one of the best places on the East Coast to ski. I love it up here.
The Forever Wild team competes in the USA Snowboard and Free Ski Association's Appalachian Series, with hopes for their athletes to be a part of the 1,800 competitors at the national competition at the end of March.
We have a pretty rigorous training schedule throughout the year, so we make sure they're getting as many reps as possible.
In order to get the necessary training, many of the kids who make up the team are homeschooled, and after they do their work in the morning, they're hitting the slopes.
I love doing homeschool. It gives me a lot of free time, and I'm grateful that my parents have given me this opportunity to do it.
The Forever Wild team started 5 years ago and features athletes from West Virginia, Virginia, and North Carolina. Skiers and snowboarders aged 6 to 17 make up Snowshoe's Forever Wild team. Today, competitors start at the top of this mountain, and after a few jumps, twists, and turns, they'll make their way towards the finish line. While Forever Wild is one of the top teams on the East Coast, for Coach Ruckel, it's not just about the competition. It's watching athletes develop on and off the slopes.
And we get to see the progression, we get to grow with these kids, we get to be part of their home lives. So I think that's the most important to me.
Snowshoe is one of 5 locations that hosts USASA's Appalachian Series. Connor White, WVU News, Snowshoe. March 7th was only Chrissy Zeltner's second time displaying her work at one of Morgantown's First Friday events. Photography is a second career for her after the COVID-19 pandemic forced her to change paths.
I actually own another business that started to fail because of the pandemic, because I had to close my doors for a few months, and people started to suggest that I sell my photography to make ends meet, and here I am.
Morgantown's First Fridays started in February of 2024. Jordan Brigman, the creativity connector for the Arts Council of Greater Morgantown, says that they provide a unique chance for artists of all skill levels.
We have exhibited over 160 artists in downtown Morgantown. This is a range in experience from really experienced artists that have done numerous exhibitions to students of WVU that have never done an exhibition before.
More than 1,000 people have attended these events across the 13 months of music, art, and other entertainment. Morgantown's First Friday for the Arts gives creatives the opportunity to display their works, but also to sell copies like these to the community. For creatives like Zeltner, it's about the community support as well.
I've said for years, I just take pictures, and whenever the first few people started to buy my photography, I actually had to stop saying, "Really?"
But it's not just about the artists. Downtown businesses experience an increase in foot traffic and sales as a result of the events. Connor White, WVU News, Morgantown.